Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you how you can add parallax effect in your website or in your app in just 5 minutes. Yes, you heard it right. Just 5 minutes, we'll be adding a parallax using React. And also one more thing, if you find this video helpful, do subscribe to the channel, and that will keep me motivated to make good quality content out there. So let's start.
So yeah, let's first of all I'll tell you what a parallax is. In this particular website, I'll also link this in the description. This is just a inspiration. So if you see the foreground and the background, both are moving but in different speeds. The effect that they create is known as parallax. Now, we'll obviously not be creating this such a big website, but yeah, we'll be creating something very close, which will actually imitate this, in which background and foreground will be moving in two different speeds, right? And this way you can scale it to any level in your app. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll just simply go to my code sandbox, right? And I'll just you can use any editor of your choice, maybe a VS Code or something. So first of all, search for React scroll Parallax. So this is the npm package that we will be using to uh, create this parallax effect, right? So first of all, I'll just copy, or maybe we can do one thing. We can go to the home page of this uh, particular package, right? So now what we'll do is we'll simply copy this particular command. If you are using VS Code or something, you'll copy and paste this. But for our case, since I'm using Code Sandbox, I don't have to uh, do a lot of thing here. I'll simply have to go to dependencies and paste it. Once I paste it, it will auto fetch it, and you can see we already have this in our dependencies now. React scroll parallax, right? 3.4.5, right? So now let's deep dive into what and how this whole thing works, right? So what we do is we go to parallax, and you see how easy it is to add parallax to your website. So there is an example which says parallax, and there is a speed of -5 and a speed of 5. But for all of these things to work, you need to wrap your component in between a parallax provider, right? So what we'll do is we'll copy this parallax provider, we'll go to our code sandbox, right? And we'll go to the index.js file. In index.js file, we will be wrapping this app component, this particular component, inside the, what is this called, parallax provider component. Right now, since parallax provider is not imported, we'll simply import it. You can see parallax provider is imported, and we are good to go, right? So now let's create another component folder here, components, and in component folder we'll create a file called parallax, or we'll write it as custom parallax dot JSX, right? So we'll export const custom parallax is equal to a arrow function, which is going to return us a div, right? And in this particular div, I'm going to write a h1, which will say parallax effect, right? So this way, we at least we have created our component. Let's simply import it into app.js now. So I will import this, and you can see this is important, and we'll see a parallax effect of text over here. Now let's go back to the example, and let's go to this particular section which says parallax, and let's do one thing. Let's copy this particular thing and go back and go to our app.js and into parallax, right? After this, since we have wrapped the component, we'll simply do this part and save it as parallax. We imported parallax from React scroll parallax, and we are here. And now I'll do one thing. In the slow section, I will add a slow, okay, not like this, but I'll add a span which will be having slow, and if not a span, I think I'll just put a p tag because it's a block level element. So next will come in the next line. I'll just copy this part and copy and paste. I'll just paste it a couple of times, right? And similarly for the fast part, I'll just change this div and write it as fast. And sorry, fast, not like this, but I'll p tag and which says fast. I'll simply copy this p tag section and again paste it a couple of times, right? So now if you see, we have a slow section and a fast section, right? Let me just remove few of the slow section so that we have, yeah, good. So now let's go to our style.css and we'll target the slow. In slow, we'll give it a background color of red, and for fast, this is just for the demonstration purpose, that is the parallax actually working, right? And fast, we'll give it a background color of maybe green. I'm very bad at color choices sometimes, but yeah, this is how it looks like, right? Now in the parallax section, let's now simply try to since this is not a scrollable component, right? So we'll give slow okay, we'll add couple of more slow and fast sections. So I'll copy and I'll paste. And similarly, I'll copy the fast sections and I'll paste. Now we have a scrollable thing. Now if you see, can you see this part, right? This is working fine. Now what I'll do is I'll increase the speed of the fast component by 20, and you see, and we can, or let's keep it as 0 and put it as 20. Now if you see, this section is not moving, but the far section is definitely moving. And now we can also give it a minus value, just like how it was earlier. So you can see, right? The slow section is moving very slow, but the fast section is moving on top of that. So this is how you can create a parallax. But there is another thing that I would like to highlight. In the video is complete. If you want to add it, you can just go and copy this code and put it into your website. But there is a little more thing that this package do. So I'll just keep it as 20, okay, 10 here and 20 here. So let's go to the package website, and there are few things that we have to learn, right? So if you see, it actually tells us, wait a second, yeah, in the how it works section, wait a second, yeah, in the parallax, slow and fast, yes. So if you see, it says the speed prop simplifies the application of translate x or translate y based on the parallax controller scroll axis. By default, the scroll axis is from top to bottom, or it is y-axis, right? So the translate speed will equivalent to translate y. For example, if you have written a speed of 5, for example, if you need to find in the position of scroll, and directly in this example, element begins with -20 and ends with 10%, right? So whatever value of speed you enter, the same value in percentage wise, your element will translate on positive y-axis or on negative y-axis. Let's see this in our example also. So if I go here, I give it, if I give it a speed of 0 and I give it a speed of 0 again, you see these are very close. And because of the let me also do one thing, I'll just put p as margin 0. Now you see these are tightly coupled, right? And now if I change the speed by 10, now you see, since it's a positive value, it will positively go, I mean, translate to y-axis by 10%. And similarly, if I give it a value of -10, it will do the opposite. Similarly, if I give it a value of 10, and I give it a value of -10, can you see? For one element, it works in the positive direction, and for the other element, it works in the negative direction, just like that. So yeah, that is what I wanted to tell, and you can try it out in your website or in your app, or maybe in your projects, whatever you're trying to do. So that's all for this video. If you have more questions regarding this particular thing, do subscribe to the channel, and there is a telegram link in the description, there's a discord link in the description which you can join and we can happily discuss. Even if it is in the comment section, we can discuss. So yeah, that's all for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.